WMCA Musclehead Revolution, where men are men and women are glad they are. Join us today at WMCA.com. That's WMCA.com.
And welcome to this edition of the MuscleHead Revolution V-Cast right here on MuscleHeadRevolution.com. We're grateful you're with us. We've got a lot to get to tonight, and we had a little bit of a debate. What do we title tonight's episode? The production staff finally ended up voting how to know you're a world-class moron. More on that in a second. First, tonight's thank you to our sponsor of the MuscleHead V-Cast, Harvest House Publishers, and the new upcoming title, MuscleHead Revolution, by yours truly, Kevin McCullough. Order online right now, just over in the sidebar here on MuscleHeadRevolution.com, or on Amazon, or Barnes & Noble, any other major retail outlet coming near you. If you order today, it'll be in your mailbox on August 1st. You can begin reading it the same day it hits bookstores, and I hope you will. It's the 10 most important common sense steps to overturning liberalism through the use of common sense, or as I like to call it, the sense that is no longer common. Speaking of common sense, that brings us to our first story tonight. Immigration, still the hot topic in America. The president weighing in, sending National Guard to the border. Maybe it will help, maybe it won't. My friends in many places in the blogosphere, Michelle Malkin being one of them, said today she doesn't think it's anything but direct pandering to a conservative base, and even that, it's a very, very small bone. That we'll have to wait and see on. But one thing is for sure. While he did take to the air, does take to the air, CBS's Bob Scheffer couldn't resist asking the most stupid question in all of network television over the weekend.
The president's going to make a speech on Monday on immigration. We are told, in fact, the lead story on the CBS Evening News and a couple of the other networks Friday was that the administration has been considering plans to bring the National Guard into this and to use the National Guard rather extensively. Now, a lot of people have a picture here, and I want to ask you about this. Are you planning to station armed National Guard troops on the border? I mean, I think a lot of people can see this picture of our National Guardsmen shooting Mexican immigrants as they're coming across the border.
Yes, Bob, the National Guard are going to shoot at Mexicans while they try to come across the border. That's exactly what we had in mind. Speaking of genius, take a look at this picture. Check out these guys, especially the one on the left. He's got a World Trade Center is a death machine t-shirt, in which that shirt claims that 9/11 was a controlled explosion. Genius. The picture says it all. And that brings us to the moron's moron from the last 24 hours. Vice President Al Gore in his own words.
In 2000, when you overwhelmingly made the decision to elect me as your 43rd president, I knew the road ahead would be difficult. We have accomplished so much, yet challenges lie ahead.
Now, this stunning look at what his presidency would have looked like, in his own words, is enough to make anyone be very, very glad that no matter how bad President Bush's polling numbers are, that we did not go the other direction. But when he got to specific subjects, it got even more strange, like global warming.
In the last 6 years, we have been able to stop global warming. No one could have predicted the negative results of this. Glaciers that once were melting are now on the attack. As you know, these renegade glaciers have already captured parts of upper Michigan and northern Maine, but I assure you, we will not let the glaciers win.
Fighting glaciers or not, Al, one thing you need to understand is that global warming, if it even exists, doesn't really have much to do with human consumption. And if you know that, and I think you might be smart enough too, what do you think of this story? Indonesia's most relative contribution to global warming, a volcano going off this weekend. You're going to hold rallies against it too. He tackled other things like the new Republic of Mexifornia.
As for immigration, solving that came at a heavy cost, and I personally regret the loss of California. However, the new Mexifornian economy is strong, and El Presidente Schwarzenegger is doing a great job.
His discussion of Supreme Court Justice nominees and what they would be like under his administration sent shivers down most people's spines.
have been some setbacks. Unfortunately, the confirmation process for Supreme Court Justice Michael Moore was bitter and divisive. However, I could not be more proud of how the House and Senate pulled together to confirm the nomination of Chief Justice George Clooney.
But what was most damning about Vice President Gore's comments is his abject disdain for the very legitimate, real war on terror.
In 2001, when I came into office, our national security was the most important issue. The threat of terrorism was real. Who knew that 6 years later, Afghanistan would be the most popular spring break destination, or that Six Flags Tehran is the fastest growing amusement park in the Middle East?
Yes, I know while Al Gore was presenting a sketch that was supposed to be comedic on Saturday Night Live, the truth is these pieces of sarcasm all find their base in truth. Al Gore and Michael Moore are closer than he would lead you to believe in that clip, and the fact that he jokes about nominating for a Supreme Court justice position doesn't mean that he would, but it does indicate a fondness and affection that one has for the other. My point being this: the president's numbers could not be worse. The issues facing him right now could not be of more grave importance, and at this time in this nation, you cannot know how thankful and glad I am that Al Gore is not the one making the calls. I'm Kevin McCullough. Thanks for being with us for the MuscleHead Revolution V-Cast. Until next time, keep checking back for all the news that's important to you, that grabs your heart and affects your family. We try to be faithful to provide it for you here at MuscleHeadRevolution.com. And don't forget, if you're in the New York area, tune us in weekdays 2 to 5 on WMCA 570 and 970, and around the world, across America, and anywhere else that you can reach us where the internet goes, on WMCA and MuscleHeadRevolution.com. 3 audio streams, podcasts, and the new webcast. Check it all out. Have a great night.